Coming up in this episode, I'm thinking about waiting in life and kind of all of the opportunities we miss while we're waiting and what that means for life. And just taking a second to see why I'm waiting around in life and why other people might be waiting around. But it's a thought that kind of sticking with me at the minute, so let's go break it down. What's going on, beautiful people? This is your Perspective Chaser podcast, and I'm your host, John. On this episode, I'm thinking about why people wait in life. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why am I waiting for certain things in life or to do certain things in life? And why other people would be doing the same? Like, some of my reasons are valid, don't get me wrong. Like, there are always going to be valid reasons for us waiting to do certain things in life, depending on what those things are. But at the same time, I could probably come up with a list of compromises just as quickly as I could come up with a list of excuses or a list of reasons to wait and put things off. And I'm wondering how many other people are out there doing the exact same thing. Like, maybe not the latter part of that, but definitely the former of making excuses and giving themselves a laundry list of reasons why they can't do something or why they have to wait to do something without actually thinking about the repercussions of that. So, say for example, you want to leave traveling until you've got money once you retire and everything else, which is going to be a lot of people's situations. Well, the retirement age isn't an age where you're normally youthful and full of vigor. It's a lot later in life when you're more than likely going to find it hard to get around, hard to do everything that you want to do, more chance of health complications and so many other implications that are unseen. But yet we seem to have a kind of confidence in the idea that we're just going to get there or that it's guaranteed. So then we convince ourselves it's okay to wait, it's okay to put things off. But tomorrow really is never guaranteed. So what safety is there in putting things off? What do you stand to gain from waiting? Now, as with anything, it's going to be you can come at it from every angle where I've got valid reasons for waiting and this and everything else. But at the same time, as I said a second ago, could you easily come up with a list of compromises? Say you want a new car. Okay, cool. Maybe you can't afford a brand new car, but maybe you could afford a car that's new to you, more reliable than the one you've got or whatever else. Say you want to go traveling. You may not be able to leave the country that you're in, but you may be able to go around it. You want to make new friends? Okay, cool. You might go somewhere and meet one new friend or whatever it is. That there is going to be a compromise to whatever it is you want to do. But then you'll talk yourself out of it because it's not what you want to do. Say you want to learn to climb mountains. Nobody's really going to want to settle for walking up a hill. But there are things that you can learn, there are things to be gained from walking up a hill multiple times that would help you when you do manage to climb a mountain. So just to say that things ain't worth pursuing or you need to put them off for whatever reasons, sometimes it's going to be justifiable, but sometimes that's not going to be good enough. Sometimes you're going to need more, sometimes you're going to need to go deeper. Like, it's so easy to put ourselves on the back burner. Like, for so many instances, I mean, at least it is for me. Like, it's easier for me to do things for other people than it is to do them for myself. Because for me, I know that it's a long road for me to be truly satisfied. So anything in the meantime is kind of plastering over the cracks. But it's not just that. Like, taking the breaks, enjoying the moment, that's not plastering over the cracks. So there may be a lot which is superficial, but every so often you're going to get something that is a lot deeper than that, for lack of a better way of saying it. That something that becomes a moment in life. And I had this thought the other day where I heard somebody describe walking as a controlled fall. And that's that action of catching yourself each time one leg gives way and the other one catches yourself, and you do that over a repeated process. That process we define as walking. To use that same ethos, like, how many people are going through life and they're not truly living? Like, if you was to define living as those moments where you actually catch yourself, you create memories, you're present in the moment, you know what you did at that time, at that place, with that person, with whatever it is. Like, those moments where you was actually present, compared to how many moments you just let pass you by and you're essentially falling through life. So if you was to define living as that, in that same way, how much can you say of your life you've actually spent living compared to just falling through life? How many times do you catch yourself and have the awareness of, wow, I'm alive, I'm sentient, I've got people that love me, I've got people that I love, I can make an impact on the world. Whatever it is, like, how often do you catch yourself in those moments? And if the answer is not that much, maybe there's something you need to work on. I know it's something that I'm working on. Again, none of us are perfect. If we tell ourselves we are perfect, we're never going to do the work to become better. The idea of perfection may be unachievable, but it doesn't mean that you can't make yourself better in the process of chasing it. But when you look at it in terms of waiting, how much of that life is just waiting for something to happen, or waiting for your plans to come together, or waiting for this and waiting for that? And then the moment you actually catch yourself, and the moment of success, or the moment that those plans come to fruition, or your dreams come to fruition, that might be the moment of living. But say you spent 5 to 10 years just falling through life before you caught yourself in that moment and was like, wow, like, I've done it, I've got here. Whereas there's so many other opportunities that you could have taken along the way to catch yourself and experience life. Because you can't go back and experience those years. Now, again, imagine 30 years down the line, somebody sitting across from you and asks you, do you wish you'd done more in life? Most people are going to say yes. Like, I don't think anybody would want to have less experiences. Because after all, I think that's what we're all here for, is to just experience life in all its variety, in all its different ways, and all of its different iterations. Life is curious. We are curious. We're innately curious creatures. We can't help ask questions. Like, it really is ingrained in us. No matter what, we are curious beings. We want to know what's over there. What does that taste like? What happens when you poke this? What does that feel like? Whatever it is, we want to know. And it takes many types of people to come up with many types of questions. So with that in mind, if you're putting off the questions that you have, you're putting off the questions or the things that you could experience in life. Ask the questions. Do the things that you want to do. Experience life in all of its beauty and all of its varieties. Because after all, why else are you here? Like, you have this opportunity to enjoy life and experience all of these different things. And nothing lasts forever. So these things that we can experience now, they may not be experienceable, if that's even a word, in 10, 20, 50, 100 years. So the fact that they're here now and you're here now, and you have the unique ability to experience them and explore and do all these different things in life, yeah, it's got to be hard to make excuses not to experience all of those things, at least in some capacity. Like I say, like, there might be valid reasons in waiting, but there's also going to be compromises that you can make while you're waiting. There's little ways in which you can enjoy life in the meantime, where you can catch yourself in the moment before you've got to your end goal, before you've got to where you want to be in life. You can enjoy the journey that you're on, because that is going to be the majority of your life. Like I say, imagine you spent 10 years pursuing a dream, and then that moment of accomplishment after those 10 years, well, which lasts longer, which took up a greater portion of your life? The accomplishment itself, or the pursuit of that accomplishment? So which one is more important for you to enjoy? Which one is more important for you to be present in? Because which one's a much greater amount of your life? So if you actually want to be present in life, if you actually want to experience life, you need to remember to check in and not just fall through life or put things off. Make sure that you are present in the moments. And I know how easy it is to check out. Believe me, I check out all the time. So I'm not trying to throw stones. But it is something that we all need to constantly remind ourselves of, that we are all living sentient beings. Life manifests itself in many ways, and we're around to experience it. That is a unique possibility that we all need to take advantage of. And so many of us are not. So many of us are putting things off for many reasons. And again, some valid, some not. But there's always compromise. And then there's always the long goal. The long game, rather. So really do try to check in with yourself. And again, I know this is just me spewing to myself. And really and truly, this is stuff that I need to hear, because there is stuff that I'm putting off myself. But with 7 billion people in the world, if I'm experiencing this stuff and feeling these things at times, there's bound to be at least one other person out there experiencing it or going through it or whatever else. So take that time to actually be in the moment, be present, and quit waiting, because waiting's going to get you nowhere. Like, the amount you could do or the amount you could get done in the time that you're waiting for something to happen, there's a lot of life to be lived in those times. So go out there and live it. I'm going to wrap this episode up there. The seed for this episode will be, see what you can do to brighten somebody else's day. Just a small act to brighten somebody else's day. Because there are loads of little things we can do. And in helping somebody else feel a bit better, we often make ourselves feel better. So see what you can do. And I guarantee you it won't be something that has to be overwhelming or whatever else. Telling somebody they look nice, or telling somebody they've done a good job, or whatever it is, there's a small act that you can do to make somebody else's day brighter. And by making somebody else's day brighter, you make your world a little bit brighter. So go out there and make the world a bit brighter. All the best. I'll catch you on the next one.